this image is eventually going to be player face. Let's see if that works. Or am I going to have to do a lot more work with that? I actually kind of find that fun. I'll play with it more. Okay. Does anyone have, let's see, on say a heads up or a call in call menu bindings is only way? What do you mean? Okay, so let me look. For widgets though to bind say health or ammo, is there another way? Yes, that's actually what I was effectively just doing. Um, is so the way I've got this set up is in my player controller or wherever you're calling these. So, like, let's say health and ammo drop you have in your player controller. I create an event dispatcher that, for this case, I'm passing everything. For your case, if you wanted to just pass health or just pass ammo, you would do them individually. But in my case, I'm passing all of my stats because, frankly, I don't really. I'm not going to be messing with this sheet enough to warrant doing individual ones. So, all it does is I filled out in my event dispatcher what stuff I want to pass, right? And that's really important for the next step. You have to make sure that you pass everything you're wanting to pass into this call if you're going to pass anything at all. So, then you go to your character stat sheet. And I've got it to where on and this might not be the best way to do it, but for what I'm doing it works. Is that when I do the event construct, I bind a event to it. I actually did an assign because when you do an assign, it creates a bind event and then creates the custom event. Now, to get the information for the bind event, you have to name the custom event the same thing as the bind event, which when you do an assign, it does that. And when you do that, it will pass all of the variables that you're wanting to pull into the inputs automatically. And then all I did was set text for each thing, which you would effectively be doing on a bind. Difference being, on a bind, you do it on frame. In this case, you're not. You're actually doing it every time this is called, which is only called when I have this custom event up here called. In this case, it's anytime the spent stat or the spent points is called, anytime decrease stats is called, and anytime you level up, and then at the very beginning of play. So only when one of those stats that is being affected is called will the sheet update, which means it remains dormant otherwise. And so you don't have to worry about possibly screwing up or, worrying about it collecting data on frame or anything like that. It just, anytime you call it, that's when the bind event fires and that's when the event dispatcher fires off. So that's the way you can kind of get around that. I think technically you could probably do interfaces as well, but I'm not sure that would be the best way to do it in this case. I would probably recommend event dispatchers. I would also recommend not keeping a permanent bind on your event dispatcher. I would actually recommend binding and unbinding it when you call the the widget, which you can technically do. And then you do the bind, you do the unbind. That way, it's not always around. Because one of the things I did learn was having a bind always around is dangerous. And in fact, I'm going to change that right now. Because the more I'm talking about it, the more I think it'll be a good idea. Event bind. Yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking it would be a good idea for me to uh, go ahead and do that. Do custom event unbind unbind all from open character sheet. So, any chance you can cover it from a slow, empty start? Absolutely. In fact, we will do this on Monday. Since we have gone over this, what I'm going to do is on Monday, we will do this because that's my next stream day. I'm probably going to be streaming mostly Mondays right now. Mostly because someone asked for me to potentially do something on Wednesdays, so that day would be out. Thursdays I'm busy. Tuesdays I'm usually busy. It's between Friday and Monday, and most people want it earlier in the week, so probably Mondays. This week being the only exception. But I will keep you guys up to date on that. And hopefully, after we get. This is probably going to be going on through November. And then after November, it should be back to potentially normal. So, just so you're aware, heads up, whatever you want to call it, that's what we'll be doing. Is once a week, probably on Mondays, maybe twice a week if I'm like really energetic that week. But otherwise, it'll probably be once a week. What was I doing? Right. Okay, so when this is called, bind. So we're going to run the bind event as soon as this is called. And then we're going to run the unbind event. Before it's removed from parent. Then, let's see. And that's where update sheet is done. Okay. Now let's make sure I didn't blow everything up just to see if this works. I may have blown everything up. Okay. Or not. Maybe it... Okay. That's weird. Huh. What happened? RPG controller is there. Third person game mode. Third person character, which is exactly what I had it set to. Game state. That was weird. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't like that. All right, well, we'll figure that out. We're gonna go over this on Monday with a brand new project. Surprisingly, despite the fact that my brain feels like mushy gelatin right now, we managed to get some cool stuff done. Um, we kind of have a whole new widget character sheet that is going to be significantly more improved than the original character sheet, which looked like doo doo. Um, and yes, I said doo doo. I know. It's amazing. It's great. Anyways, that's going to be the game plan going forward. Thank you guys so much for sticking through tonight. I know it was a bit of a long-winded and dry performance. I apologize for that. Just kind of out of it. Um, we will be back on Monday, and hopefully, I will be in a significantly more energetic state. Thank you again. I'll see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend.